As we get later into fall, it gets progressively colder and progressively darker more often each day. I guess those unfamiliar with the phenomenon of changing seasons might even conclude that the Earth is dying a little bit inside, which to a lot of us is not an unfamiliar sensation. Which I reckon is the topic of today's little sit-down chat. It's a video I've been I've not been wanting to make this video. I don't want to make this video. This is a video that's probably going to be rather uncomfortable for me to put together. However, I believe it is a necessary or potentially helpful video. At the very least, it's something that I hear mentioned a lot, kind of offhandedly, and brief little comments here and there, usually throughout the darker times of the year. And it's something that people mention but never really address. And that is what I can only describe as depression, and which is not a very fun thing to talk about for those who have experienced it or are currently experiencing it. I generally consider myself a kind of well-mannered, rather uplifted, jovial guy for the most part. And it's weird how it kind of sneaks up on you. And it's, in hindsight, rather frightening where it can take you, and those are the dark roads. And I really don't know how else to describe them besides journeying in dark places. And that is not necessarily dark as in nighttime, but just what is darkness but the absence of light. And we're going to be trucking down a little metaphorical road, but it's incredibly real. And to those who have not experienced it, it's not really something you can describe well. Having been on the opposite side of it, I'm not sure I have a whole lot of helpful information necessarily, but I can only hope that at the end of things, knowing that somebody else has gone through similar circumstances may not change your life, but it may give you the strength to seek the necessary changes in your own. I'm honestly not sure where this video is going to go, but I do feel that this is a real topic that often gets danced around and nobody really wants to have it out. So here we are. So I guess grab a mug of your favorite and let's go for a walk. Several years ago, it was just when I was getting into the Nerf hobby. I was not actually part of the community. I was just a dude working in a spare room playing with, Nerf guns. I was back shortly after the Maverick days. I think I was cutting shells by then, but it's weird. I've never had an issue with it, and it was a seasonal thing, I'm sure. But it got to the point, and I'm not sure what the circumstances were, but as some people describe it, and it's really hard to put it in something that you can just hand to somebody and have them completely understand. But it is odd where you just don't want to get up in the morning. You know you have to go to work or school or whatever it is, but you just have no get up and go. And it's not like you're tired because you've been working. It's just you kind of get tired of being. And it's really hard to explain beyond that. You just... Honestly, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what the heck happens. But you just sit there someday and you go, if I wasn't here, who all would that affect? And I had really a small list. I know my folks, immediate family, would be kind of bummed out if I wasn't around. And it's this little, not really thinking beyond that. It's just like, how much of an effect do I have on people? How much of a hole would I leave? And it's just one of those where it's just kind of a side thought that just kind of sits in the back of your mind for a while, and you don't really know why it's there, just that it's kind of there once in a while and you think about it. But I realized I never had, like growing up, I never had a wide range of friends and stuff like that. There was a few people that I associated with, and I never really hung out with people or anything. But, which I guess, my web of influence, is that what they call it? Where you have like, here's you and here's people you affect, and these are the people that are affected by you affecting people. We did that in school once, and the teacher kind of wagged her finger at me because I didn't have a very big chart thing graphed out on the amount of people that I interact with, and it's like, it's just me. That's just what I do. But I came to the realization that I wasn't really affecting much. And so you have that little nugget, and you kind of set that on the shelf somewhere, and that sits in the back of your mind. And other things kind of crop into your mind as well. And you begin to think, essentially, how easy would it be for me to get out of this? And I had gotten to the point where I wasn't like, yeah, I want to end things. But I got to the point where I had no fight, which is also equally scary. But you realize that you've kind of made up your mind that if something happened, I'm not sure I'd fight my way out. Because how much easier can you get without the guilt? I am a religious person. I don't believe in killing people, unless it's, defense, whatever. But we also include, suicidal things. Because you are basically ending a life, and it's your own, And so I do believe in the eternal consequences of things. And so, but I had kind of justified in my mind that if something happened that were to make me no longer exist, then I wouldn't necessarily jump out of the way. And when you wake up in the morning and you think about that, and that's one of your first thoughts, it's a little rattling. I experienced, moments of clarity when you kind of look back and go, whoa, that was a weird thought. Where did that come from? And then it kind of progresses, and you find yourself beyond that in circumstances where you begin to justify a lot of things that you wouldn't normally justify. You think to yourself, or I guess I'm saying I thought to myself, but it's really hard to say that way because it really gets personal, and so I can speak in a third person, and it makes it a little easier to talk about. But you kind of get to the point where you stop necessarily waiting for other opportunities to dispatch you, and you say, I'm booking along here 80 miles an hour going down the freeway like everybody else, but hey, look, here's this bridge abutment thing. If you just happen to look behind you or whatever and the wheel slipped and something happened, you can justify a lot of things in your mind and figure out just how much damage a vehicle can do going that fast. But then you think, oh crap, is anybody else going to get caught in the collateral there? And so, really don't want to screw up anybody else's day. But then again, when you're booking down the desert in the middle of nowhere, doing the similar thing, and you say, if you just... it'd be an accident, and you can be totally justified in it, right? Anyway, so that's the kind of thing that you have going on sometimes, and it's odd how it's completely logical in an illogical mind, and I'm not sure how that really works in the grand scheme of things. But again, regarding the influence, I kind of thought to myself, there again in one of those moments of clarity, where I'd kind of decided that I didn't seek any kind of medical things or anything like that, because I thought, this is a problem that I apparently created myself. I need to figure this out. Being kind of a troubleshooty kind of guy, and being of the more mechanical fix-it persuasion, I guess I realized I have some problems here. What am I going to do to improve my situation? What are the symptoms, I guess? Symptoms? I don't know what you'd call it. Anyway, what is it that makes me feel the way that I'm feeling? Little moments of clarity when you can actually think the way you, I think, are meant to think when things aren't getting dark and scary. And boy, is it frightening. Boy, some of the thoughts you have, oh my gosh. And there again, in hindsight, it's just like, whew. But anyway, I decided that I needed something. I realized that in the event of something happening, I think one of the the most important things, because I thought, my folks would be, bummed out because, I'm their kid, and so there's a lot of personal thing going on. And so I thought, oh, that's justified. That's, kind of the expected reaction, death in the family and all that. But I also couldn't help but think that, like, my wife would be bummed out. And the idea of her being bummed out because of something I did really bummed me out. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. It's one of those things where that was probably one of the first things I thought, I don't want to do that. That is one thing I don't want to do, is do something or be the source of disappointment or bum-outedness to my wife, because I like her a whole lot, and I'd miss the heck out of her too. But beyond that, I realized that's only one person. And as much as I didn't want to affect her in any way, you have those dark moments. You have those convenient opportunities. And like I said, I realized I needed something. And I've been in the old car hobby, playing with Studebagers and stuff like that. We go to meets, we've gone to a few international events and stuff like that, and you get to meet a few people, and it's just like, hey, I'm an old guy with an old car, and I'm like, hey, I'm a younger guy with an old car. Hey, that's cool. See ya. And there's really never a whole lot of bonding, or there wasn't really much to it. But I also enjoyed just the hobby itself of just playing with cars, not necessarily the community created by the hobby. And that's when the Nerf thing came in. And I realized there was this community of people. And this was back when, I think this was on the tail end of Nerf Haven, back when it was still, before we'd really made the move from Nerf Haven to the Facebook groups and stuff like that. And I thought, well, maybe I'll dip my toe in the water here and see what this is all about. And I'm not sure, and there are varying opinions here, but dipping my toe in the water, I quickly discovered that Nerf Haven wasn't really a happy place, especially for people who weren't part of the upper echelon and the elite of the old schoolers and stuff like that. And so I kind of recoiled a little bit there, but I could see the people and the groups and the weird happy energy there. And maybe I make too big of a deal of it in, other my discussion videos, and I talk about that cool, the cool community, just that good vibes, and just overall, we still have stinkers. We got stinkers, we got jerks, and I'll always throw an asterisk there. In fact, I'll put it over here. There's always an asterisk there. And, but I could see a good heart in the community. And it was the first time in my life that I actually wanted to be a part of a group. I never wanted to hang out with the cool kids in school. I never wanted to, be the popular kids. I never, that was just never my thing. But I finally saw a group of people who I'd never met, didn't know anything about them personally, but there was just something about them. And I wanted to be a part of that. I never went into it saying, I want to go in and be somebody and become somebody or be influential or whatever that everybody wants to do. I just wanted to be part of it. I saw something. I saw a light in this community, and I'm not sure what it was, and I still haven't figured out what it is. It's a silly little thing, but I saw some kind of light in the community, and I wanted to be a part of that, and so I kind of reached out, and I didn't necessarily jump in immediately. I have been around for quite a while before throwing my hat in the ring, so to speak. But it was the first time in my life I wanted to be a part of something. And I was quite rapidly adopted or accepted into the community. And it's not just because I make cool stuff. It's just because I still insist that overall the community has a good heart. We have jerks. Asterisk. We still have jerks, but I still believe that the majority of people are in it Not because they're good people. I still haven't figured out if Nerf makes people good or if good people are attracted to Nerf. I still have not figured that out, but it's not necessarily as important as the fact that there are good people in the hobby. Good, sincere people. Good, warm, honest people. We got jerks. But, I don't know. It was a weird thing. It gave me purpose. Does Nerf give people purpose? I honestly don't know. But it was something that I could invest myself into, be a part of something, and this is where it gets really tricky to really distill what it is about the community and about the hobby. But it's, I don't know, maybe I like the hobby and the community because I still will say that it is responsible for me being here right now. And maybe that's why I make such a push or make such a point of trying to promote the good heart of the community. And I'm not sure what it is. I still have not figured that part out. But I will go on record saying that Nerf is more than likely the reason that I'm sitting in this chair with the Krager dog in the garage that no longer houses cars anymore because it's all full of Nerf guns and things. Part of a global community of people that like to get together to just have fun together, building cool, wacky blasters and shooting each other in the face and being friends about it. It's such a weird thing. It's such a weird, magical thing, and I'm just really grateful to all of the good people, not the jerks, who make this community what it is, who bring out the good part of everybody. And like I said, I'm not sure. I don't know who this video is for. I don't know if this video is for anyone. And like I said, it's not something I wanted to talk about. Taking the idea of, hey, I had a weird depressive episode that lasted a good long time that I didn't like and took me to some surprisingly grim circumstances in my mind. Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to go on the internet and put their face to a story and then post it up everywhere for people to be like, hey, you big dork, you know, you're depressed and that sucks. Yeah, dang it, it sucked, man. It's awful. And growing up, I had never experienced it. I had no idea. And you have people and they're like, I'm depressed. And you're like, so get some vitamin D or something, right? I don't monkey around with depression anymore. That is some serious crap. And if you're one of those people that have never experienced it, don't judge people because it sucks. It's an incredibly, I don't know what the heck it is. Debilitating? I don't know. But it's some scary crap, man. It is some scary crap. Don't screw with it. You know, if someone's like, I'm depressed, be like, hey, man, we got your back. What do you need? You know? It's spooky crap, man. And it's October, so I know spooky right now. It's a spooky season. But depression is some serious crap. Don't screw with it. And, yeah, I'm not even going to go into that. But just know, it's not something you really choose to do. It's not like, maybe I'll get attention if I'm depressed. It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. It's some serious business. So, is this the depression story? I don't know. Is it a rant? I don't know. Does it add an expose on the potential of the Nerf hobby to bring out good in people and save lives? That seems a bit extraordinary. We know the Rob Lair story. Rob's an odd dude. But similarly, says, you know, Nerf saved my life. I can stand in there and be like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm in the same boat. I don't know if I want to be in the same literal boat as Rob. He's kind of a spooky dude. But it's, there again, it's serious stuff. And, yeah, to sit back and say I potentially owe my life to a weird, silly hobby and the really odd people that make it up isn't exactly a strength. It doesn't really make you feel, it's not really something you want to brag about, but it is something, like I said, that needs to be said, I think. And again, this video is probably not going to change lives, but perhaps it just has enough influence on somebody's life that they say, you know what, he's got a point. He's been through it. He knows kind of what's up. Sometimes just knowing somebody else has been in your shoes or been in the similar circumstances, knowing that you can relate to somebody and you're not just like, nobody knows how I feel. I think I have at least a piece of an idea, because I've been there a little bit. Hi, bud. Shh, it's okay. But yeah, it's yeah. Don't dilly-dally in dark places, for sure. If you are in a situation where you are in those dark roads, and like I said, it's getting to be where it's, getting cold out, it's getting dark out. It tends to be a seasonal thing. You got the whole vitamin D thing, whatever that is. You don't get outside, and for whatever reason, you just kind of get bummed out. And some people, it hits worse than others. But, if you are feeling kind of down, one thing I've always heard growing up was, if you're feeling poorly or whatever, you're feeling down, serve somebody. Do something for somebody else. And it's a weird sensation that generally seems to work. And perhaps part of it is, like, I like to build cool things. And it is, I will admit, a lot of it when I'm building these things. It's selfish. It's something I want to do. But I share it because it makes other people happy. And when I see it making other people happy, it makes me happy as well. And so I'm kind of like double selfish. I'm selfish because I'm making myself cool things that I like, and also gaining off of the excitement that building stuff gives to other people. And so, yes, I'll say, in that vein of things, I would say yes, that I'm selfish in that manner. But the excitement, and I still haven't figured out why me building something cool and showing a picture of it to somebody else makes them happy. I haven't figured that part out. But I know that when somebody else builds something cool and shows me, I get excited and happy about it. And if that's what you need to get through, to be that, even a candle on, in total darkness can put out a significant amount of light. And so if just showing a picture of something, making something and being like, I had this idea in my head, and so I made this thing, throw it out there, see what other people think. And you might just find somebody else who's like, that's a really cool idea. And you make them happy, and it makes you happy, and it's really cool, and we all get along and love each other, and it's wonderful. But, so I don't know. I guess what is the end game here? What is the reason why am I talking? I don't know. I guess just to throw out there that, yeah, I am accused often of being just a very happy, friendly guy. That wasn't always the case. Generally, I don't like people, and I've said that before. I faced some scary times where I didn't really want to be associated with people, to the point where I didn't want to be around people, meaning I didn't want to be around. And I don't think you can get much more unpeople than wanting to be totally out of reach of people, to the point of not even existing on this sphere. So, but things change. I think putting myself in a situation where I'm not accountable, I don't think it's an accountability thing. It's not like, well, I can't, go off and stop existing. 'Cause kill yourself. That sounds so major, and it's just so grim. I don't even like don't even like throwing that out there. But just being in that situation of not existing, how's that? Is depressing, because I think of all the cool things that I won't see, and all the amazing people I won't meet, and unrealized projects, which I have plenty of, and the fact that if something did happen, I'd have a whole garage here full of things that my wife wouldn't know what to do with, but would know that they're valuable and not know what to do with them, and be like, and I don't want to put her in that situation. But I don't know. It's I can't end this. I don't know how to end this. It's an odd topic. It's not a topic I wanted to talk about at all. But it's out there, and I've wasted so much time on this recording now that it would be foolish to just not edit this up and post it somewhere, because I'm sure it's good information for somebody. I hope. Because if I post this video and it doesn't do well and everybody just says, wow, what a wacko, then that's not going to really end well for anybody. But I don't know. If you find yourself in a situation, a similar situation, or even if you're just toying with the idea of, you know, who would I affect if I wasn't here? That's a good warning right there to be like, get your crap in gear. Serve somebody, create something, do something cool, you know? Or at the very least, do a counseling thing or talk to somebody important. Don't just write it off. Don't just say, oh, I'll get through it eventually. Because you don't want to mess with that. Like I said, don't screw with it. Don't even toy with it. Don't just do what you got to do to get it taken care of. So we want to have you around. So please, 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 take this as a PSA, I guess. PSA? PSA. Yeah, one of those things. Me saying things to, if you find yourself in that situation, get whatever help you need. If you don't think it's depression, but you're still having weird thoughts and things like that, it doesn't hurt to check, you know? At the very least, even if it's not actually depression, if you're just bummed out, it sucks being bummed out. I get bummed out once in a while and I hate it. And so I do what I can to stop being bummed out. And I know it's not that easy, but like I said, it's putting the thoughts of others before you, I guess, is always a good place to start, I guess. So, are you comfortable enough to discuss things like this? I mean, am I odd? Did I have a very minor episode and I'm making more of a deal of it than I should be? I don't know. But please take this. I'm going to open up the comments section. YouTube comment section. So you guys did really good, have been doing really good recently, have probably one of the most positive YouTube comment sections that I've ever seen. So please, everyone, be nice to each other. I'm going to open up officially the comments to discuss feelings and thoughts of that matter. Yeah, it's a bummer, huh? So be nice to each other. This is where everybody can be a bit vulnerable for a minute. So yeah, just if you have thoughts regarding the matter, good or bad, or what are they, or what have you, feel free to leave them below, and we'll make sure that, you know, we weed out the jerks. I will not tolerate any monkey business or nonsense or attacks of any kind regarding the situation. So, like I said, if talking about it strengthens you, then please share below. I'll be happy to offer any thoughts on the matter. If you have positive thoughts for somebody else, please feel free to leave them as well. This is an important time as we're getting into fall, getting into winter. That seems to be when it hits everyone. So let's when this goes live, it should go live at least before November anyway. And it's okay, bud. And yeah, like I said, just be nice to everybody. And let's just have a little discussion if you want. And if you don't want, that's totally understandable. And to all of those of you in the community who make the community great, keep making it great. That's why we love you. And I guess we'll talk to you guys later. In the meantime, wishing blue skies and green lights to you and yours, and may all your troubles be teeny-weeny ones.